Hey folks, I'm Melhorn. Have I found the ultimate catfish reel? Well, in this video, I'm going to go into detail about some of the things I've learned about this reel since I started using it. Now, the name of this reel is the Piscifun Salix X 3000. Now, this reel comes in two sizes. They make a 3000 and a 5000 series. The one I've been trying out is the 3000 series. It has a gear ratio of 6.2 to 1, a max drag of 26 pounds, and it will hold 330 yards of 24-pound monofilament line. Now, my reel, I've been running 30-pound Andy mono, and more than effective for what I need. And the one thing I noticed about it right away is it holds a lot of line, way more line than I need, to be perfectly honest. It's a very large capacity reel for fishing line. As a matter of fact, I'm looking real forward to taking it down to the coast to do some king mackerel fishing later this year, and even try to catch some sharks with it. It's got enough line that it would be really fun. 26 pounds of drag, that's a lot of weight and a lot of pressure to put on a big fish. Now, one of the things that stands out about this reel that's very positive is the retrieve rate. It's 39 inches per crank of the handle. I noticed it without looking at the stats on it. When I was bringing in my line, especially when I'm trolling or got lines cast out a long way behind the boat, you really got your tackle back in fast with this. So that's a good positive feature that I really like about it. The other thing I like is the drag. It's got a lot of drag on it. It's got way more drag than I use, to be perfectly honest. I only run 30-pound lines, so having 26 pounds of drag is not something that I'm really going to max out. But for some of you guys that are using some heavier lines, fishing maybe for some bigger fish, that drag may come in handy. It's a star drag, just like most of the other conventional reels that are used in the catfish and striper world. Easy to adjust. It's got a little bit of a clicking mechanism in there. You can feel it click with each increment. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it holds up when I really try to torque it down on some bigger fish when I go saltwater fishing. Like I said, not really something I'm going to put to the test chasing catfish or stripers, but I think on saltwater fish it will be fun to see just how much pressure I can put on them. Now, as far as the price point goes, it's kind of a medium price range between some of the cheaper round bait casters and the more expensive ones. I'll put some links down in the description section of this video to my Amazon affiliate account to where you can buy this reel and check out the price. And I'll also have some links to the bigger version if you actually want to go with that you can check out also, see what the price is, and it may be something that you want to buy. Now, one thing about this reel is it is heavier than most of the round conventional reels that I use. You can feel it and you can tell it in the size. The actual visual presence of the reel is bigger and larger. It sits higher on the rod. The center of gravity is higher because of its size. The one downside to that is that it feels a little more wobbly, especially after you've been using some of the smaller reels. It takes a little bit of getting used to. And after you've used it for a while, kind of get a feel for it, you don't really notice it. But initially, it's a bigger reel. So it's something that's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Same thing applies to the casting. It casts different than some of the other reels that I use. Now, I noticed right away the more weight I put on it, the easier it was to throw. Took a little time to dial in the brake to get it where I wanted it and get it to where I had the finesse down. Once I did that, I threw it like the rest of them. But kind of determine for yourself exactly where it fits into your style of fishing, where you're fishing, what you're fishing for, and what your needs are. Now, how does it perform out on the water when fishing? Here's a couple of fish that I've caught with it. I think we got one. I've seen a water swirl. Yep, he's there. I seen the water swirl. I think he hit it, ate it, and plopped back down. What's funny is some of these fish are taking these baits and taking off with them. A bunch of them are hitting and just staying put. This one's swimming at the boat. So he just figured out the boat's here. Nice little good eater there. If I was eating them, I'd eat that one, but I got enough. I'm not sure if there's a fish on here or not. Oh, It is a fish. Weird, subtle bite. Did not load it up. This is that new Piscifun Salix X 3000 series reel. Been trying out. Had it about a month. Good fish. Nice blue cat. Now, personally, I think that 3000 is all you need. The 5000 is pretty big. It's a lot more real. The 3000 is all I would go with fishing for any catfish in America, no matter where you fish. Now, one of the things that is a little different than the traditional catfish round reels is that when you go to cast, most of them have a button that you push in, cast it, line goes out, flip the crank one time, it engages the reel and you're ready to fish. Well, with the Piscifun reel, it actually has a lever that you flip back. You cast it, and you have to flip the lever to engage the reel. There are some models of reels out there that you can engage the reel and it will automatically flip the lever back up by turning the crank. On this one, just remember, flip that handle up. Again, it's a subtle little difference, a subtle little something that is not what you're used to, but it doesn't really affect the performance of the reel. Now, who will this reel really appeal to? Well, I think anybody like myself that does any crossover fishing between freshwater and saltwater will like this reel, especially if you're pursuing some bigger fish out there, maybe some reef fish, king mackerel, sharks, something that's going to take some line and pull some line off your reel, and you may have to put some pressure on. I think between the line capacity and the amount of drag that you have on this reel, I think those people fishing saltwater and freshwater will like it. Now, in the catfish world, I think people who are fishing in any kind of water that's got some current, whether it be constant river current or if you're fishing some tail races, those kind of places where you can hook into a big fish and you need some drag to help you, those kind of folks fishing in those conditions will really like this reel. Now, if you're extremely budget-minded, this is kind of a middle-range reel. It's not on the upper end, but it's not exactly cheap either. So this may be one, depending on what your tolerance is for spending money and how much you want to spend, this may be on the upper end of what your price range is if you're very frugal. Now, do I have any suggestions for the people at Piscifun on how to make this reel better? I honestly think if this reel was just a little smaller diameter and little smaller size, and got into a price point somewhere around 50, 60, 70 bucks, I think they could be onto something that would be very practical for every catfish angler out there, both from a price standpoint and also from just its usability out fishing. Well, there you go, folks. Hopefully this gives you some good information about making a decision on whether or not you're going to buy this reel. If you decide to buy one or want to look at any more information, make sure you check out the description section below. I'll have some Amazon affiliate links in there to this reel and to the bigger model in case you want to get one. Well, folks, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, and here are a couple of more videos that I think you're going to like.